Hello everyone, Kit here. I'm back with the final part of this court case. I'll leave a link down this document down in the description below, along with our email. You can email us at themahoney@gmail.com for private consultation. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Mr. Morgan appeared at the trial on December 7th, 1969, and appeared as a witness to be candid, open, direct, experienced, and truthful. He testified to 20 years of experience with the Bank of America in Los Angeles, the Marquis National Bank of Minneapolis, and the plaintiff in this case. He seemed to be familiar with the operations of the Federal Reserve System. He freely admitted that his bank created all of the money or credit upon its books in which it acquired the note and the mortgage of May 8th, 1964. The credit first came into existence when the bank created upon its books. Further, he freely admitted that no United States law gave the bank authority to do this. There was absolutely no lawful consideration for the note. The bank parted with absolutely nothing except a little ink. In this case, the evidence was on January 22nd, 1969, that the Federal Reserve banks obtained the notes for the cost of the printing only. This seems to be confirmed by Title 12 U.S.C. Section 420. The cost is about 9/10 of a cent per note, regardless of the amount on the note. The Federal Reserve banks create all of the money and credit upon their books by bookkeeping entry, which they acquire in United States and state securities. The collateral required to obtain the note is, by Section 412, Title 12, a deposit of a like amount of bonds which the banks acquired by creating money and credit by bookkeeping entry. No rights can be acquired by fraud. The Federal Reserve notes are required through the use of unconstitutional statutes or fraud. The common law requires a lawful consideration for any contract or note. These notes are void for a failure of lawful consideration at common law, entirely apart from any constitutional considerations. Upon this ground, the notes are ineffectual for any purpose. This seems to be the principal objection to paper fiat money and the cause of its depreciation and failure down through the ages. If allowed to continue, Federal Reserve notes will meet the same fate. From the evidence introduced on January 22nd, 1969, this court finds that of March 18th, 1968, all gold and silver backing is removed from Federal Reserve notes. The law leaves wrongdoers at where it finds them. See Emerald Jurisdiction section on actions, sections 50, 51, and 52. This court further observes that the jurisdiction of the court is confirmed by Article 6, Section 1 of the Minnesota Constitution. Section 1. The jurisdictional power of the state is hereby vested in the Supreme Court, a district court, a probate court, and such other courts, minor judicial officers and commissioners with jurisdiction inferior to the district court, as the legislature may establish. Pursuant thereof, an act of the legislature credited this court. Nothing on the Constitution or the laws of the United States limits the jurisdiction of this court. The Constitution of Minnesota does not limit the jurisdiction of this court. It therefore has the complete jurisdiction to render justice in this cause in accordance with and agreeable to the supreme law of the land. When a court is created by act of the legislature, of judicial power is confirmed by the Constitution and not by the act of creating the court. If its jurisdiction to be limited, it must be limited by the Constitution. In any event, the banks has not raised any question to the jurisdiction of this court. Slavery and all its incidents, including peonage, thraldom, and debt created by fraud, is universally prohibited in the United States. This case represents but another refined form of slavery by the bankers. Their position is not supported by the Constitution of the United States. The people have spoken their will in terms which cannot be misunderstood. It is indispensable to the preservation of the union and independence and liberties of the people that this court adhere only to the mandates of the Constitution and administer as it is written. I therefore hold the notes in question void and not effectual for any purpose. Dated January 30, 1969. Note: the defendant, attorney Jerome Daly, shortly after the above court declared the above decision, again brought the issue of the Federal Reserve notes before the courts. On appeal to a federal court, the federal judicial officers publicly ridiculed Mr. Daly for challenging the validity of the notes of the Federal Reserve Bank and had Mr. Daly disbarred from practicing law. This act of our federal judicial officers to disbar a fellow member of the bar for questioning the validity of the monetary system of the United States raises the question as to who the federal judicial officers are employed by. It is obvious that they are employed by the international banking cartels, not the people of the United States. And that's about it, guys. Like, subscribe. It's a very important document. Check out my mom's channel for more important information like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day. Goodbye.